Hey, it's Lucas, and today we're going to be trying the Blueberry Kush cart from Clearleaf. So this 1 milliliter of distillate has 80% THC and added cannabis terpenes. As far as I'm aware, the other carts on the market, the Upstate and the Vida ones, they use botanical derived terpenes instead of cannabis derived terpenes, so I'm hoping that this will have much better flavour than those. 85 pounds, 1 milliliter, 80% THC and less than 5% CBD. Starting out with the packaging, I just want to give it a straight 5 out of 10 because it is just very, very plain. There is only my prescription label on the back there, and then the rest is silver, and then on the front there it's just a plain black and white label. I do like this label though, because even though it's plain, it is very well sectioned and you can see everything that you need to see is broken up very, very well, easy to see, very, very clear. I'm not going to read everything that it says on the packet, but I am going to read some of it. It says Clearleaf T800 BKL vape cartridge 1 milliliter. THC 80%, 800 milligrams. CBD is less than 5%, less than 50 milligrams. Ingredients are cannabis concentrate, blueberry kush. There's storage, there's directions, and then there's route of administration. Warnings, controlled drug, manufacturer, batch number, expiry for this is 13th of the 5th 25, so it is very, very close. I'm sure the same rule applies for concentrates as it does to bud. Like, it's usually fine, there's not really an expiry unless there's mold on it. Don't quote me on this because I don't know much about concentrates at all, but I'm assuming it's the same thing. Today is the 18th of April, so I would have less than a month to consume this. These carts tend to last me a while, although the last one that I had, I think it was Blueberry Kush from Vida. That one was not very good, and I went through that in like 3 weeks, so hopefully this one's going to last me a little bit longer. 5 out of 10 for the packaging. Let's rip this open and see how she smells. I hate opening these, it's always so difficult. That's really interesting. Every time that I've opened up one of these vape carts, it smelled like weed. This doesn't smell like anything, in my opinion. I'm not getting any smell out of that whatsoever. To me, it doesn't smell like weed, it doesn't smell like blueberry, it doesn't smell like anything. So first off the bat, that is weird. Every time I've opened it, it smelled like not straight up bud, but it smelled like some kind of artificial cannabis fake type of smell. This doesn't smell like anything, in my opinion. So I guess that would get a 10 out of 10 for discreetness, or a 0 out of 10 because it smells like absolutely nothing. I'm going to give it both at the same time. There is 0 smell, so it gets 10 out of 10 for discreetness. Moving on to the looks, I will post a short of what this cart looks like. I'm not going to be putting it in the video because YouTube is very, very anal about anything to do with weed, so I'm not going to put the cart in here because I don't want it to get age restricted. Even when you follow all of YouTube's guidelines, they still like to throw an age restriction at you, so I'm not giving them any chances. Click on the link in the pinned comment to see what this cart looks like. This looks really cool, in my opinion. This looks nothing like, well, I say nothing like, the mouthpiece for this is purple for a start. I think that looks cool. The liquid looks the same, everything else looks the same. It says, so this one has a sticker on the glass tank similar to the Vida one that says Clearleaf T800 BKL vape cartridge, THC 800 milligrams, CBD less than 50 milligrams. What does that say? For inhalation use only. Batch number and expiry. I think this looks cool. Like, it doesn't take a lot to please me. Just stick a fancy colour on there and some patterns and I'm happy, but this just having the purple top, I think it looks good. I like it. I haven't tried any of the other Clearleaf vapes, but I'm assuming that there's a different colour top for each flavour. If there is, then that would be great. If not, if they're all purple, then I'm just talking out my arse. But if they're different colours for different flavours, then I really, really like that touch. I'm going to give the looks of this, I'm going to give it a 6.5. My brain said 7 because, like I said, colours, oh, I'm easily amused. I'm going to give it a 6.5. It's nothing crazy, but it does look nice in my opinion. I like that they've got a little different colour on there. As I screwed this into my device, I noticed that there is a rubber stopper on the bottom, but there's no rubber stopper on the top this time. That's used to make sure that no material gets in there, so if you put it in your pocket, no lint's going to go in there. And also on the bottom, I'm assuming that's to stop it from leaking out. There's no stopper on the top, so anything could have got in the top, but there was a stopper on the bottom to stop it leaking out. The device that I use for carts is a Hamilton KR1. It is definitely overkill. You do not need a battery this powerful. I've seen a lot of people talking about the DaVinci Artique. That's the one that I wish I had gotten. I've never tried it, but definitely you don't need a Hamilton KR1. It is too powerful. I have my device set to the lowest voltage, which is 3.2 volts. I'm going to go ahead and take my first hit now. So after my first hit, a little bit harsh, but definitely that tastes like bud. That does not taste like any sort of fake botanical terpene. That tastes like cannabis. Now feel free to correct me if I'm wrong on this, but The only legal medical vapes that I know of that are using cannabis-derived terpenes are the Doobs ones. Code StonerLucas for 20% off if anybody's interested. They are the only people that I know that are using real cannabis-derived terpenes, and their vapes taste exactly like the strain that it's supposed to be. Honestly, like, I don't like CBD. I don't like CBD vapes. I don't like CBD edibles. I don't mind a bit of CBD flower, but I tend to, if you've seen any sort of CBD vape review, apart from the Doobs ones on my channel, you'll know that I hate it, but the cannabis-derived terpenes in the Doobs vapes taste exactly like the strain. I've never had Blueberry Kush, so I don't know if this is tasting exactly like Blueberry Kush, but I can tell you for a fact, this tastes like real weed. The flavour's not very strong, I will say that after my second hit. It's earthy / spicy, slightly sweet, but the main flavour that I'm getting here is an earthy spice. Spice is the dominant one that I'm getting. The dominant terpene in this, if I'm remembering correctly, is linalool, and that is a floral sort of lavenderish terpene. If I try hard now that I'm thinking about it, I'm getting maybe a slightly sort of lavenderish taste right in the back of my throat, but it's mainly spicy for me, and that's pleasant actually. I quite enjoy that. It tastes like real weed, and the other carts have a sort of sweet, almost tangy blueberry flavour to them. This, I'm not getting blueberry. I'm getting pure earthy spice and maybe a tinge of tanginess in the back, sweet tanginess, but it doesn't taste fake, it tastes real, and I can't complain with that flavour. The only thing about it is that it's not super strong for me. Having only took 2 hits, it might get stronger, but I'm already starting to feel the effects right now. Taste, I'm going to give a 6.75. I am very happy that they're using cannabis-derived terpenes and not botanical-derived terpenes, but it's just, it still feels like it's lacking a little bit. Like, it doesn't feel as fake, but it's also not as strong of a flavour, so they kind of need to marry those two together with using real terpenes, but the terpenes that they're using are bold and in your face. I did get a taste through it. It was spicy, earthy, a little bit, like a tiny little bit sweet, not super sweet, a little bit tangy, but mainly spicy. I really liked it. The only thing, wow, this is definitely hitting me. I liked it, but it felt like it was lacking, so I'm going to give the flavour a 6.75. We are definitely going in the right direction. I don't know what I rated the other ones, I can't remember, but this one feels the least fake tasting in my opinion, so 6.75. It wasn't perfect, but it is good. And for the effects, I've taken 3 moderate size hits. I haven't smoked or vaped anything today. This is the first bit of weed that I've had. That sounds so weird when you say it like that. This is the first smoke of the day, so it's definitely hitting me. Like, I definitely feel high, and it feels like a full body high. I kind of feel like I've got an outline, if that makes sense. I feel like I've got sort of a jagged sort of glowing outline around my body that's sort of fuzzy, almost like I kind of like imagine a cartoon and a block of jelly or something. I feel like I've just walked into that block of jelly, and it's like I've got a whole like jelly mold around me, but it's fuzzy and it's nice and it's warm, and I can feel it all the way down my arms to my fingertips. My fingertips feel like as if I'm pushing my hand into the stuffing of a teddy bear. I know that's very specific, but this morning my dog ripped up one of his toys, so I've been picking stuffing up from everywhere, and that's what my hands feel like right now. I feel like I'm pushing my hands and my body into the stuffing of a teddy bear. It's like fuzzy and sort of warm, and it feels nice. I don't feel like I'm getting any kind of headband effect from this. From the other vapes that I've tried, the Upstate ones and also the Vita ones, I definitely felt like I was getting a sort of like a headband heavy feeling above my eyes and around sort of like a halo around my head of heaviness, but it didn't touch my body at all. This feels very full. Like I've said, I can feel it, like my knees are starting to tingle, my heels feel quite heavy, and it's just a nice feeling. I really wish that I had the Upstate one and I can't know, the Vita one was blueberry cookies, so maybe not that one, but the Upstate one is definitely blueberry kush, so I wish I had that one to compare it to, but I don't remember how that one felt. I remember I did like the Upstate one, but it didn't feel like this. This feels very, very nice right now. I'm sure blueberry kush is an indica dominant hybrid, or just an indica, so I do feel very calm. I don't feel energetic. I got this to use out and about, specifically at work, so I don't need it to make me really, really energetic, but I don't want it to make me super sleepy either. I do feel like my eyes are wanting to shut a little bit. This feels strong. Like some of the other ones, the Pineapple Express, I could chong on and I didn't really feel much from it. The Blueberry Cookies one that I had last, I could take quite a few hits off that and feel like I needed a little bit more. I would feel high, but I wouldn't feel like satisfied. This right now, this feels quite strong. I feel like maybe I could have maybe just done 2 hits or 2.5 hits or something. I don't feel overwhelmed, like too high, but it feels quite strong. I don't know if I mentioned that this is also £10 cheaper than the other vape carts. This is £85 instead of £95 for 1 ml of distillate. They're the same strength, 800 milligrams of THC. This, in my opinion, feels nicer. It tastes better, in my opinion. Like I said, not very strong of a taste, but a more natural taste, and more it tastes like weed rather than fake, and it looks better. If that bothers you at all, I know it doesn't bother me how the cart itself looks, but it's nice to have something that looks nice. You know, that makes sense, right? In that same vein of the looks, I know we're talking about the effects, but this has just come to my mind. It looks nice, and there is a bright colour on there, but it doesn't look like it's supposed to be for kids, you know, like a lot of these disposable nicotine vapes have cartoon characters and multicolours and stuff like that, and it looks like a toy, like it's made for children. This does not look like a toy. This is obviously a medical device. I feel like people are torn one way or the other. People like me, people get on at me for reviewing packaging. Like, I understand it's a medical thing and the packaging doesn't need to look good, but just take a second, genuinely take a second if you're on medications and go and look at the packaging in your medicine cabinet, because everything in there, if it's from a different brand, even though it might just be white packaging, something on that packaging is going to be branded to the company that made it. And you may never have noticed it before, but just go and have a look and you will see. And some of that branding is going to look better than the other branding. This is not a recreational market, blah, 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 but we all do buy with our eyes first. When I'm scrolling down the Montu website and I am looking at the packaging and I am thinking, that looks better than that. That looks shit. That looks budget. That looks cheap. I'm not going to try that. We probably shouldn't be thinking like that, but we are programmed for everything that we buy in our life to look at the packaging, and so I think it's important. Why was I talking about this? Yes, because it's got a purple mouthpiece. I think that even though we're medical users, we should still be allowed to have something that looks nice and doesn't look shit, so it's nice to have a purple mouthpiece. Let's have it. I can't remember why I went off on that tangent, but I am going to jump into my rating now. Starting with the packaging. 5.5 out of 10, it's plain, like I said, like there's nothing really interesting about it, but I do like how they've clearly divided everything. All the little pieces of information are clearly divided into separate bits. Some packaging, it's just in one long text wall, and it's very difficult to read. This is nice and sectioned up and clear, so 5.5 out of 10. Smell is going to get a 0 or a 10, depending on how you want to view it. 0 because, to me, there was no smell when I opened up the packaging. Now, bear in mind, I had COVID in like 2020 and it did take away my sense of taste and smell. It's since come back, but it's still iffy. Take what I say with a pinch of salt. I don't think there was any smell when I opened up that packaging, so 0 for smell, 10 for discreetness. The vapes on medical, the distillate vapes, are the most discreet way, apart from like oils obviously, or edible like pastels and stuff. The vapes are the most discreet way to go because they smell the least. So I don't know if there's any smell right now from when I exhaled, because there's nobody around to tell me, and also my room smells like weed because here is where I smoke. But these are the most discreet way, so I'm going to give it 10/10 for discreetness, or 0 out of 10 for smell, because there was no smell. The looks of the cart itself, I can't remember whether I rated it earlier or not, but I am going to give it a 9. You know, I think it looks very nice. I like that it's got a purple mouthpiece. Like I said, I don't know if the other strains are different coloured mouthpieces. I hope they are, because that would be a good way to distinguish between them if you've got multiple vapes. I like that they've got the sticker on there that tells you the strain, the expiry, and also how strong it is. And I just think the cart itself looks nice, so I'm going to give it a 9 because I can. And for the effects, I am well and truly medicated right now. I feel pretty good. It is currently midday. I do have to go to work, and I am going to be taking this to work with me. I feel like it feels strong, in my opinion. Not too strong, like I already feel like it's calming down a little bit, but it feels nice. I feel good. I don't feel overwhelmed. I don't feel underwhelmed. Just feel good. Just feel kind of mellow, chill, nice. So the effects, I'm going to give, for now, just a 7 out of 10. I feel good. Overall, for my first impression of the Clearleaf Blueberry Kush cart, first impression, not review, because this is the first time I've tried it, I'm going to give it a 7 out of 10. I like it so far. I'm not disappointed whatsoever. I don't want to score it too highly in case it turns out that it's not as good as I think it is. Just now, compared to all the other vapes on the UK market, the UK medical market, it's the best one that I've tried so far. I haven't tried the rosin one, but I've heard some people be disappointed with that. Apparently it's not as good as people wanted it to be. I don't know, I haven't tried it. I do want to try it though. I haven't tried any of the other Clearleaf distillate vapes, but I have tried both Upstate ones and the Vida Blueberry Cookies, and so far, in my opinion, it goes Clearleaf, Upstate, Vida. Let me know your opinions in the comments. Have you tried this? Did you like it? Did you not? Tell me what I should try next. Keep your eyes peeled for the full review. Make sure to subscribe. These tend to last me a while, but I've had my full prescription this month, so there'll be plenty of videos coming out soon. Subscribe for those. Leave me a comment. Peace.